Welcome to Your Food Business Success. This podcast is for early stage entrepreneurs in the packaged food industry ready to finally turn that delicious idea into reality. I'm your host, Sari Kimball. I have guided hundreds of food brand founders to success as an industry expert and business coach, and it's gotta be fun. In this podcast, I share with you mindset tools to become a true entrepreneur and run your business like a boss. Interviews with industry experts to help you understand the business you are actually in, and food founder journeys so you can learn what worked and didn't work and not feel so alone in your own journey. Now let's jump in. Hello, welcome back to the podcast. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm recording this on the Monday after I got back from Sedona, Arizona. If you guys listen to the podcast regularly, you know I was going in August, and even one of the podcasts was like recorded ahead of time, like, yeah, I'm going. And then I got COVID, and so I was fortunately able to reschedule and was able to go in September. And it was amazing. Really, truly amazing. I'm still processing, but just some highlights. So I went to a place called Sedona Mago, and it's based in Taoism, which I honestly was not very familiar with at all. I remember reading that book a long time ago. It was very popular, The Tao of Pooh with Winnie the Pooh. And that was really all I knew, a little bit about it that I learned in high school. And I mean, first of all, Sedona is such a gorgeous place. It was one of those things where I just Googled like meditation retreat, and I found the right combination of location, you know, easy, relatively easy to get to. The cost was pretty low, not some ridiculous, you know, $4,000 for a 4-day retreat or something. So I highly recommend if you are looking for an experience like that. Taoism is based around nature. And I really was very clueless. But this particular group is based around a Korean tradition of Taoism. And Ilchi Lee is the founder of this. And it was really cool. I mean, the property was insane. It was amazing. And there's all these vortexes there of like this high concentration of energy. And they just did a really nice job. I mean, it's a little bit of a trek to get there. It was like 3 different shuttles from the airport, and 11 miles on this like washboard back road to get there. But once you're there, oh my gosh, right? It was just incredible. And I was there. I mean, again, I just like Googled this, and then I, totally ended up going on a different weekend than I thought I was going to go. So it's one of those when you just let the universe kind of do its thing, and then you just get plopped into this most amazing place at the right time. And it was the full moon, a super moon. So one of the largest full moons of the year. And then just the people that I was with, I was originally going to go with my stepmom, and she wasn't able to come with me in September. So I went by myself, and I was having like a mini little panic attacks before I left, just about like, not about being alone, but just like, I don't know what I'm doing and who's going to be there, and will I be able to eat the foods that I like? And, some of the things that always come up for me when I'm doing hard things, right? Things outside of my comfort zone. So you guys, it's not just you. It happens to me too. And I have all these tools, and I got coaching, but I was totally like, oh my gosh, I'm, just feeling uncomfortable, right? Going to this place, and are my needs going to be met? And is it going to be a good experience? And so working through that. Anyway, it was amazing. The food was delicious. It was all vegetarian. They had some fish, but very well prepared. They do a lot of growing and farming there. And so it was really cool. Just I actually like picked a pomegranate off of a tree, which I had never even seen a pomegranate tree before, and ate that. It was so cool. We were like eating these amazing, crazy dates off this tree. Me and food. I love it. And just the things that I kind of experienced and did, and it wasn't traditional meditation. Like I didn't really know what to expect, but I just assumed we'd be like sitting there for hours. But Taoism, especially this form of this from Korea, is very body mind connected. And so you do a lot of physical things. It's like, if you think about Tai Chi, almost a little bit like that. So we were like doing lots of movement and then holding poses and being really uncomfortable, right? When you're holding some crazy pose for a long time and you think this is like, I was thinking about you guys and just about entrepreneurship in general. I was like, oh my gosh, this is resilience training 101 when you're like, hold this pose really uncomfortably. Like at first you're like, okay. And then you're like, I really want to put my arms down so badly, but you just keep going. And then, eventually when you finally get to release your arms, first of all, just the release of like, the contrast and feeling that, it feels so great. But also just the accomplishment and the pride of like, I held that. Like that was badass. That was hard. Doing some of those physical things to like get your body ready and tap into these other, like, it really helped me to get rid of the mind chatter and to go so much deeper than I ever, I'm a very amateur meditator right now until this trip, I guess. So it was amazing. And we had a small group of people and they were great. And I really connected with some of them. And so shout out to my group there with Sherry and Cree and Richard and Ruth and Lois and Linda. They were just amazing to get to know them at mealtime and have that experience together. A couple of other just quick, amazing things that I did at this retreat. We did do a kind of a moon meditation one night with the big moon coming up, which was so cool to just be surrounded by these like red rocks of the Sedona desert and then this super moon. And just being outside under the stars, that's one thing I realized living in the city as I do. I don't see stars like that very often. And it was just clear and beautiful. It was really, truly magical. The next day we did a sunrise meditation, and it was incredible because the night before we did the moon. And then the moon was still up and then the sun coming up over the red rocks. And we were on this like the stages and the things that they have made on this property are just incredible. So we were up on this like beautiful landing that looked out over the whole valley and did this morning meditation that was physical. And then you were kind of like taking in all of the energy and the warmth from the sun. It was just truly incredible. And then one of the most powerful, impactful things was this 120 steps. And Ilchi Lee, the founder of this Tao Fellowship and this property, I guess they have a couple of other meditation retreat locations around the world as well. But he has this book. He has a lot of books, but something about living to 120. So when you walk it, so there's, all these steps, and each step has a number in gold on the very right-hand corner. And you basically like you enter this landing platform first, and that is like you're in your mother's womb. And so each step represents a year in your life. And he wants to live to be 120. So 120 steps. And you kind of take a breath, set an intention, and then you go through your life. And I get kind of emotional thinking about it. It was an incredible experience. And I did it with my group, right? And so one person was maybe in front of you a few steps and one was behind. And, depending on your life experiences, you might find yourself on one particular year just sobbing. And I know there was definitely some for me, the year my dad passed away. I hung out on that 35th step for a very long time, just sobbing. But there were some steps that were like easy breezy and like really happy. Like, oh, I remember this, I remember that. And then some where it was like your heart was just being ripped open, but it was this like really safe, beautiful space. And just to like feel it. And for me, the intention was around healing and like letting go. Sorry, it was so emotional. It was an incredible experience. If you can just imagine, I mean, you guys know I talk about, how many days left do you have till you die, and like appreciating what you have here and what's ahead of you. But I don't know, it was just so powerful processing your life up to date and kind of going through some of those memories and those years that were very, affected you significantly and shaped who you are today. And then pausing on your current year. And so it was very interesting going, everything past and then stopping on 47 for me, if you can just imagine wherever you are in there, and just, everything behind you, like, okay, that was all part of my life. That was all meant to be. That was all what helped make me who I am today. And feeling, even though some of those years were, extremely emotional, like just being grateful and realizing that those are just part of you and part of who you are now. And then, okay, here I am now, today, at this age. And then it was just wild, the future part of it, right? And you can kind of, start seeing like, okay, what's possible? What do I want to create? Who do I want to be? When I got to my 50th birthday, like year 50, I have really big plans for that year for doing some incredible trips and celebrations and certain people. And so just being, spending a little time sort of imagining that. And I hope, something that just came across my mind is like, if you look ahead to your future and you're not that excited about it, or you're like, oh, I don't know, it's probably just going to look the same as it is today, I would ask you to question that and start doing some of this deeper work, because I want you to be excited about what's ahead of you. I mean, I was like, whoa, this is like, it was pretty mind blowing, like seeing everything that was ahead of me. Now, I don't necessarily want to or think I'll live till 120, but I've kind of said like 85 is probably like quality of life, somewhere in there, right? But and then as I was, taking more and more steps, and then as I kind of got into like my 60s, and I was like, who am I going to be then? I was like, I'm just going to be like, I'm just going to be bold, and I can do whatever I want and say whatever I want. I can just be happy all the time and not really give a crap what anybody else thinks. And I just had this vision of myself, right, around like kind of those late 60s, 70s. And after I was done, I was like, why do I have to wait 23 years? Like, why can't I start embodying some of that now? Right? Why? Like, it really was very visceral. Like, why am I going to wait till I'm 70 to be that way or to embrace life that way? It was like, no, I want to do that now. I want to start being that person now. So that was an incredible experience. And then we took this hike, Master Daniel. Thank you, Master Daniel. It was a little bit of a different kind of weekend because a lot of the masters were apparently out at this conference. And so Master Daniel had a little bit more free time than I think he normally does for our group. And so we took this extra little hike up to this Red Rock mountain. And it had these storms were going on all around us. And there's like 3 different storms with lightning and thunder, but we weren't getting wet at all. And we hiked up to this ridge and it overlooked. And one of my big things that I really came with the intention to open up was this concept of like, be Sari. And like, I think a lot of times I censor myself. You guys might be like, really? You have a podcast, you have a YouTube channel, but I kind of feel like I have to like put on a certain persona, right? And I was like, I just want to be more me. I want to like say what I really want to say. I want to ask for what I really need. I feel like a lot of times emotion gets stuck in my throat, which is also, and if you're into like the meditation piece is like chakras and it's your throat chakra, and things open up in my heart, but then they get kind of stuck in that chakra there in the throat. And that's also where the ego is, right? Where you're worried about what other people will think of you. You're worried about how you're going to think of you, your own achievements and things like that. So that was a lot of my work over that weekend. And so I was telling Master Daniel that earlier, I think the day before. So when we got up to the ridge, he was like, Sari, I want you to, we're going to yell. We're going to yell. I was like, because I told him, I was like, I went up to this other area and I just wanted to scream and like yell something. And I was like, but I was really worried about bothering somebody. And so he's like all of us as a group, we all just shouted at the top of our lungs and we did it 3 times. And then he had me do an extra one and it was just so freeing and so amazing. So anyway, it was just a truly phenomenal experience. They have a documentary that someone did about this place called Love Heals. And we watched the documentary. I don't know. I was going to look and see it. I'm guessing you can probably find it on Amazon or like Prime or something. I'll try to find and put the link in the show notes. So if you're curious, but a lot of this is about this brain body connection and healing your body. There's through balancing your energy and whatnot. And we didn't get too much into that. This was a more kind of general exploratory meditation retreat weekend, but the documentary was really phenomenal. So if you're curious and want to see more about this place, there you go. So just wanted to share with you a little bit about my experience. I'm sure more will come up in future episodes as I process this more. But what I want to talk to you about today came from at the very end of that experience. And it's something it's like it got into my consciousness. So I've been noticing it, of course, right? Our reticular activating system, that when you think, blue Ford pickup, all you see are blue Ford pickups everywhere, right? When you start looking for that particular car. So when I started noticing this, or we were talking about it, and then I was noticing it everywhere, I was like, oh, this is good. This is a really good topic to talk with you guys about. So of course, last day, we're at the end of the retreat and we're talking about like integrating it and what, all of us are like, but we want to take it, how do we take the magic and the peace and the strength and everything from this weekend and take it into our everyday lives? And how do you incorporate it when you're working and you're doing all those things, right? And so Master Daniel was like saying things like, I want to do this every day. I want to do this meditation practice or do this exercise every day. I want to. And so he was kind of pulling things from us of like what we were saying we wanted. Right. And if we think about like the words that we're using, what he was getting to was, I'm going to try. I'll try to bring this and incorporate it. I want to try. I'm going to, right? Like he said, no, there is no try. There is no going to, there is no hope. He said, what if you say instead, I choose to continue this work. I choose to bring in this meditation practice or whatever it is. And it's so true, right? Just think about how those words feel in your body. And I was looking up some quotes and things about this. And of course, the great Yoda, right? There is no try. There is only doing or not doing. But I think we throw try around so much. And that's why I called this episode Stop Trying. Because my clients and members tell me all the time, okay, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to do the Power 5. I'm going to try to contact these buyers. I'm going to try to do a reel. And just in that very word, even though the word itself by the dictionary definition is like, it's like a worthy attempt. It's an effort. You're trying something. Like that in and of itself isn't where the problem is in the definition. But when I even think about, I'm going to try that, there's an inherent failure in that. It's like we're already imagining that we try, but we fail. That there's like a hesitation there. Like, do you guys feel that when you say like, I'm going to try to do, let's just say a badass 30, a discipline challenge. I'm going to try to do that versus I am doing it or I am choosing to do that. I am committed to doing that. So then we were talking about it, with Master Daniel, and he said, using those words like, I choose to do this. And then there needs to be action behind it. And that's really where my whole jam is, right? That's where I love coming in and offering my tools. And oh my gosh, this workshop is so good. I just finished it. I'm giving it live. When you guys listen to this, I will have already given it live. But those are the tools of the actual doing, right? But first we have to get away from this word try. This is a nasty little word. Imagine like there's a little fence in front of you and you're like, I'll try to step over it. Literally by the word try is like, you're going to put your foot up to it. You're going to kind of put it over it, but you're never actually going to step over it because that would actually be doing it. Instead, trying naturally just implies that you're going to try, but not actually do it. So I want you to be really onto yourself. Where do you catch yourself using this word try? Because then I was in the gift shop after, and like I said, I kept hearing it everywhere. So there was another group there. A whole women's group was there that weekend, and somebody was in the gift shop talking to an employee, and the employee was like, yeah, you're going to take back like all this that you learned and, or implement some of it. And she was like, yeah, I really want to try. And I was like, where would you place your bet on that? Right? If somebody says, I'll try to implement that, or I'll try a badass 30, or I'll try to go and pick you up, or I'll try to meet you there at that party, or I'll try to make it to that thing. It's almost code word for not really going to happen, right? I would not put my money on somebody who was like, I'll try to go to that party. Be like, okay, I'll see you next time. Probably not, right? My money would not be on that person showing up at that party. And I want to be able to put my money down on you. I want you to put your money down on you. So when you're thinking about your goals, and we are in the middle, this month has been all about getting ready for our 90-day goal sprint for the last 90 days of the year to go big, to achieve bigger possibility than we ever knew was even available to us. I want to help you not just achieve the I could get there. I want you to go after something crazy, something wild, something that excites you and motivates you. If we're just like, yeah, I can get that done, no problem, we're not going to really put in the effort that's required to get us to bigger things, to get us to evolve and get to the next level. So there is no try in this. And that's what I'm helping you with this month in food business success, is getting ready to really turn it on and do it. Have the plan. That's what we did in this workshop, is give you a plan to work on. And it's not too late. If you are like, oh my gosh, I missed out on that, come join us in Food Business Success. You will get the replay. We have power hours. We have monthly check-ins. We're going to keep going. But this is how we turn the trying into doing, by getting accountability, by getting the know-how, the knowledge, by getting a plan and a process, putting it on our calendar, and then no more try. No more, I'll try to make it to the gym, or I'll try to do a social media post. I do it. I choose to do that social media post, and it is as good as done. I want you to have that level of confidence and belief in yourself. If you're not there, come join us. Heck, what are you waiting for? It's amazing. Fuel, our community inside is amazing. And we are getting some big things accomplished. Growing businesses, creating a business and a life that you love. I am committed to that. I am choosing to show up, not trying to show up for you. I am choosing to show up as the coach, as the mentor, as the expert that you need to help get you to the next level. Let's banish that word try. We will follow what Master Daniel had to say and what Yoda many years earlier said. Stop trying and just start doing. Commit to doing this no matter what. Never give up. You can do this. And who cares if it takes you a little bit longer? Just stick with it. Keep going. Choose to do it and start taking action. All right. Until next time, have an amazing week. The smartest thing you can do as an entrepreneur is to invest in a who to help you with the how, to speed up your journey and help you skip the line. When you are ready for more support and accountability to finally get this thing done, you can work with me in 2 ways. Get me all to yourself with one-on-one business coaching, or join Food Business Success, which includes membership inside Fuel, our community of food business founders that includes monthly live group coaching calls and so much more. It's one of my favorite places to hang out, and I would love to see you there. Go to foodbizsuccess.com to start your journey towards your own food business success.